Ladies and gentlemen, it has been nearly 10 months, but at last Doctor Who is back on the air. And as such, Doctor Who Reviews is also back on the air. Well, on the net. It's not really the same thing, is it?
Well, I mean, we use Wi-Fi, so that goes through the air, so technically we're on air.
I'll take it. And a lot's happened in these last 10 months. A lot's happened in these last 10 months. You know, there's been a lot of political turmoil. France won the World Cup. I made my glorious debut on television. It went absolutely terribly. I tell you, you go there for a political debate, and your contribution is to set up Nigel Farage for a joke about snowflakes. All I can say is, God damn it. But anyway,
hey, at least you don't have a giant Cheeto as a president, so...
That's very true. That's very true. But enough about the terrible things in the world, because we're here to discuss something that's not quite so terrible in Doctor Who. And to do this, I have two special guests. Firstly, to my virtual left, his favourite production company is Miramax. It's Freezing Inferno.
Okay, that was a good one. Hello, everybody. It's me again.
And to my virtual right, she steals pets from the popular people, then dresses them up as the popular people. It's Kat.
You're damn right I do.
What the fuck?
Why do you think
I
I
currently
said
have a corgi that's dressed as the queen.
Nice.
I'm also on the run, so...
Not so nice. You're on the run, sitting down in your bedroom.
Yeah.
Seems
They'll
legit.
never find me here.
Seems legit. Anyway, enough of the silliness. Wait, too late. So yeah, The Woman Who Fell to Earth. Oh boy. This
Hot damn.
This was quite the thing. This was quite the thing, was it not?
Oh, I agree. It was a thing. A good thing, to be sure.
Heck of a good thing.
It was a damn good thing.
Yeah. But also, it was a new thing, because I think the major theme of this one, more I think than any other sort of new showrunner takes over, is out with the old, in with the new.
Possibly a little too literally at the end, but we'll get there in time.
Yes, absolutely. But this really does feel like the next evolution of the show.
I can see where you're coming from there. I mean, Doctor Who has survived for so long because it radically reinvents itself every couple of years, but as much as I was a booster of the Man and era, the Russell T Davies to Moffat era transition didn't really change that much. Like, it's
Not really,
different,
no.
but it's not like...
It changed things here and there, didn't
like,
it? But yeah.
But you don't go from the end of time to the 11th. Oh my god, this is a complete reinvention of the show. Okay, it's Doctor Who. It's still good with this weirdo. Okay, fine.
Yeah, but this...
I mean,
Yeah,
even with
I can definitely
even
see where
Deep
y'all are
Breath,
coming from.
even with Deep Breath, which I didn't really like on transmission, it didn't have anything to do with the fact that it was an invention. The fact that the Doctor was so radically different. It wasn't a reinvention of the show. It was a reinvention of the leading actor.
Yeah.
But Woman Who Fell to Earth is, well, much like a lot of the stuff in the classic era, just a complete reinvention.
Yeah. I mean, we hit the reset button hard here, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot
It's kind
that's
of like
different.
it's kind of like what they're doing in Hollywood now, where they're rebooting all of the old franchises. You know, RoboCop, Ghostbusters, so on. But they did a good job instead of a shit job.
Oh, wow.
I will go to bat for the 2016 Ghostbusters. It's decent, but
You're about the
that's
one
a
who
whole
will.
other topic of discussion. Yeah, no, I'm in the minority here.
If that's the
I
hell you
know,
want
isn't this weird? It's the woman who's saying that it's bad, and it's the guy who's saying it's good. It's
if that's
almost
the
like
hill
it
you want
doesn't
to die on,
fucking
Freeze,
matter.
if that's the hill you want to die on, Jerry, who am I to disagree?
Just like how it doesn't matter that the doctor's now a woman.
Hey,
I am so annoyed by all the people who said that they were quitting the show because they missed out on something really good.
Yeah, they look really silly now.
suck it in,
Yeah.
Levine.
Well, he sucks it on a daily basis, Fresno. Come on.
That's true.
But
But
yeah,
he was in
Wow.
special. baby.
You've hit the nail on the head, Kat. I do feel sorry. Well, I kind of do and I kind of don't because it was their own stupid choice. But they were missing out. They were missing out big time. And actually, I have some good news on that score. This, I think it was at 8.2 million viewers overnight.
Nice.
Which is the highest number of viewers since the Christmas Invasion.
For comparison, what on average was the Moffat era pulling in? Like
I don't
Capaldi
know
era?
roughly. I think it was between 4 and 5 million. You got to remember, of course, that season premieres and season finales always catch more people.
Okay,
they always draw more people in, then people drop off towards the middle, and then maybe come back for the end. Some people do.
Like, I'd be interested in comparing like the pilot to this.
Yeah, I don't have the exact numbers off the top of my head if I'm being honest, but I know they were way down because people were saying like it's the end of the show. It wasn't the end of the show, but it's the end of the show. But it really isn't the end of the show.
It could also be one of those things where they are reinventing the show. They're redoing it with, a new showrunner, a new doctor, a new, extra cast, all that. This is also a really good jumping off point for people who are like, okay, I didn't really like Matt Smith and I didn't really like Peter Capaldi. Maybe I'll like this one instead. So, more people would come in.
It's funny you should mention that.
Like this new one.
It's funny you should mention that because there are people on my timeline on Twitter that are just like that. They're like, well, I didn't really like the Peter Capaldi era. Maybe I'll give this a go. And they're like, oh, wow, this is actually really good.
Well, more power to them.
Maybe I'll keep watching.
Yeah.
But it's not just the fact that we've changed gender of the Doctor and we've changed all the main actors. Even the feel of the show is rather different, for my money anyway. I mean, we didn't have a cold open this week. We had no title sequence. We went boom, straight into the action. I suspect that will change next week.
Straight to YouTube.
I suspect that will change next week. But as well as that, we got a whole new composer. And the soundtrack was a lot more subtle. In that I hardly noticed it.
Anything is subtle compared to Murray Gold.
Yes, but I will defend Murray Gold till the cows come home.
Can I interject real fast? The pilot got 4.64 million viewers overnight.
Wow, so almost half what this got.
Damn.
Also, people were really saying the show was going to get cancelled based on 4.64 million viewers. Oh my god.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like in the 80s, Doctor Who got cancelled with 3 million.
Yeah, but it is a different era now.
Oh,
and I mean, who knows how many people went and saw The Last Airbender, but I'm sure that they're going to cancel that now.
But no, it does feel like the show's being given, for want of a better term, a clean slate, a clean brew.
A regeneration, if you will.
Oh, good. I like that. I like that.
This is why you keep me on.
Yes. And also the fact I can't bet anybody else. I'm sorry, but you did walk into that. Chris Chibnall stated his aims for this series. Kat mentioned it, jumping on point for new viewers. This does mean we're not going to get too much in the way of expanded story arcs.
I mean,
that is
a complete breath of fresh air.
Trust me, we're fine with that.
Yeah, I know. I quite like it if there was some sort of overriding thing, but it looks like the focus is going to be on character, at least for this series.
I mean, to be fair,
at least they'll be know, gee, I wonder who this character is. I wonder who she is. I wonder who she is. Oh, it's the mistress, of course.
Hey, look, that might not have been the best arc, but the results were fantastic. I know it led to something great.
But also it was just like, really? That's what you just... Okay, whatever.
We've ranted long and hard about the Missy plot arc.
God alive.
Yeah. But, no, another thing I want to talk about, the cinematography.
The
cinematography looks absolutely gorgeous.
This is a very good-looking show.
We had a hint of it, didn't we, in that 30-second teaser that, quite frankly, was awful, showed during the World Cup finals.
Yeah.
where she's like replacing the newspaper with a comic book and things like that.
Which is being a dick.
Yes. And another thing, they really do seem to be embracing diversity. I mean, especially when we get to the end of the episode, but we've moved to Sheffield.
Where in the world is Sheffield?
Sheffield is in Yorkshire.
Where in the world
Where the hell is Yorkshire?
Yorkshire's in the north of England and is the historical rival of Lancashire, where I live.
Okay, so they're your rivals.
Northern England. That's all I got out of that.
But we
was
fought
it's
a
Northern
war
England.
against them, so yes.
Okay, so big rivals.
The War of the Roses. It's more amicable now. We just call each other tosses behind each
Oh,
other's backs.
I've heard of the
Yu-Gi-Oh
War of the
game?
Roses.
That's the Duel of the Roses, but yes. No, you are right. That's what it's based on.
All right then.
It is based on the War of the Roses. Moving on. Yeah, it's the first time I believe the hub city in the modern era, anyway, is not in the south of England, because you had Amy and Rory were in Ledworth, which was an unspecified village.
Let's be technical here. The Ninth Doctor did sound like he came from the north, so there's that.
No, but I'm talking about the hub city of the Companion.
Clara's from
I know,
Blackpool.
I'm being semantic.
Clara also lived and worked in London.
Okay.
Hub City is still London in Clara's time.
Mm.
But you beat me to it. And I think another aim that Christian has said that he wants people to sort of almost treat each of the episodes like a mini movie.
I can
Okay.
I can definitely see where he's coming from.
Which again factors into the cinematography.
Yes. I mean, we know that we have a reduced episode count, so using that money to, make it look a little nicer is welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I mean, I especially saw that with the effects that they did. I mean, when they showed the orb that had all the slithering things all over it, that was really convincing looking.
Yeah, they have upped the special effects budget again.
Yeah, it's much better than a giant cardboard snake that's defeated by mirrors.
It was looking a little ropey in Series 10, it must be said. At times.
To be fair, they went back and George Lucas that thing on the DVD.
Yeah, it made it look worse.
I was going to say, I think it was better how it was.
Cat is correct.
Well, really, that is truly a George Lucas because he also made them worse.
Yeah. We replaced CG. We replaced the ghost of whatever actor played Darth Vader underneath the mask with CGI Hayden Christensen.
Now, if only they could have went back to Kingdom and replaced Matthew Waterhouse.
That's tickled me. Just a CGI child actor in place of Matthew Waterhouse.
No, just a completely different actor.
Will anyone notice you guys are suddenly Maisie Williams? Edric was secretly a shield this entire time.
Now, hear me out. Matthew Waterhouse CGI'd and replaced with a Clara Echo.
See, I didn't want to go for the obvious, but yes.
Clara's at the end of the movie waving the Luke alongside Yoda.
We drifted off topic a little.
We did. So the episode was called "The Woman Who Fell to Earth," and it took over 10 minutes for the woman to fall to Earth. But when she did,
I'm just surprised it was so downplayed.
My God, did she make an impression? We are, of course, referring to our new Lord and Saviour, Jodie Whittaker.
I love her.
She was excellent.
No Doctor is defined by their first appearance. Solely. Not solely, but this was a hell of a good start.
I have a thing or two I could say.
Please go ahead.
In comparison to the other. So, a lot of times what people will do with a new Doctor is try to contrast them against an earlier Doctor. So, say, for instance, you had Eccleston, who was a bit of a grump, and then you go to Tennant, who was really manic and lighthearted and running around happy all the time. That sort of thing.
But he also had his dark side. Let's not forget.
Oh, he also had his dark side, for sure. Yeah. That's the point. They kept that part in. It's not a complete change, but general demeanor. The general face they put on for them. So,
Yeah.
Capaldi was, again, a bit of a grump in his own special way. So, I feel that they went back from that and lightened up Jodie Whittaker again. A lot of people compare her to Tennant, but I actually went back. I feel like she's more of a Peter Davison sort of inspired performance. Just, she's kind is a good one.
There were echoes, I thought, of early David Tennant in her performance.
Oh, yeah. Well, again, I mean, Tennant is basically a Davison fanboy, so he probably put a lot of that into him.
He was a Davison fanboy, and then he became a Davison son-in-law.
Hey!
I was going to say, he was enough of a fanboy that he married his daughter.
There you go.
That's taking your fandom a little bit too far.
That's David Tennant for you. He's raising fandom.
If I were Davidson, I'd be getting a restraining order against Tennant by now. This has gone a little too far.
Oh, God. But, yeah. The one scene where they find the body of the guy that the aliens killed, and she's just like, I'm sorry you had to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got a bit of compassion to her. I don't know how much you can read into it because, she's a woman, she's got to be compassionate now. But, I mean, the Doctor's always cared, but I feel like this one cares a little bit more.
That's just it, though, isn't it? You say, she's a woman now, but what I love about this is that they didn't draw attention to the fact she was a woman now.
There was one line.
Like, I'm a woman, doesn't look good on me, and then she was done.
There was two lines. There was when Yasmin says, hang on, madam, you need to let me go through here. So why are you calling me madam? That was the first mention of it. And then at the end, it's been a long time since I wore woman's clothes.
It's cute.
So she bought woman's clothes.
But because she
I'm assuming it was for Susan.
Oh, I thought it was when she was referring to her time as the Third Doctor when he disguised as a cleaning lady.
Well, no, I was thinking more Susan.
Reference?
Yes.
Jesus Christ!
I watched the marathon.
That's a deep cut.
Well, I'm sorry. Get over it.
Okay, but yeah,
nerds.
So basically, Jodie Whittaker, charismatic, kind-hearted, goes and gets the job done. But what I really love about this, and thank God for it, is they absolutely downplay the whole post-regenerative trauma thing. Where instead of just being, I'm a loopy doctor, she's just like, my head is actually a little scrambled, and I don't remember my name, but there's aliens, and I want to stop them.
Yep, there's still a little bit of goofiness there, but not so much that it's overplayed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like goddamn Deep Breath where she spends 20 minutes in a bed and you don't even know, wait, is this supposed to be the new Doctor? Is this how we're, oh my god. Like, we just get on with it.
The only thing we really see of post-regeneration trauma is she briefly faints at one point.
Okay, yeah, there you go. That's okay. That's
and
not
her body is still repairing, but much like other parts of that we're going to talk about, it's a lot more subtle.
Yeah, the only part I found to be not subtle was when she stuck her finger up her nose in order to test herself, but that
I could have done without that.
No,
I mean, I was
post-regenerative trauma is
but it was also just like, why?
Yeah. But post-regenerative trauma, hot take, is kind of silly as a concept. I mean, think about it. Your episodes is supposed to be like, hey, here's the new Doctor. Let's see what they're like. And then you're like, hey, this is nothing at all what the Doctor's like, and also they're going to be passed out for half the episode.
Unless it's the 6th Doctor, in which case you gain that the whole fucking time.
Yeah. The Sixth Doctor. Oh God, we don't even. I'm not even going to touch that. Thank you for buying me it, by the way, Cat.
Oh, you're welcome. You want more? I can give you
Anyway,
more.
I'll give the floor to you two to talk about what you liked about Jodie Whittaker's Doctor.
Well, I'm going to talk about my
I'll
favourite
give you
line and my favourite scene. You can probably guess my favourite scene.
I think I have an idea.
But my favourite line is when they're in the police car and she says to Yaz, "Can we have the lights of the siren on?"
Oh, that's cute.
She's goofy, but in all the right ways.
Oh yeah.
But I think you know what's coming. The absolute best scene of the episode is the confrontation with the villain on top of that crane.
Which I will have a great deal more to say about when we actually talk about the villain, but
Yeah, well, that is a definitive moment. Well, we're not bound by conventions here. But I
You're the
want
one
to
who
talk
said
something
we
about
were.
that scene.
no, it feels more thematic to talk about it.
I just love
when we
it.
talk about the
I
villain.
mean, the speech she gives. All right, we'll talk about it when we get to the villain, but it is fantastic. It's the defining
I
moment for
didn't need
me.
to talk about it. You can talk about it whenever you.
For me, it's the defining moment of the episode.
Well, I mean, it's her "I am the Doctor" moment. So yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably the best I Am the Doctor moment since Flatline.
Hmm.
Because that's a brilliant moment right there, where he's confronting the Boneless.
It really was.
And this, I think, was up there.
Yeah, although my
Well, it
favorite
was literally
still
up there
be
because it's on top of the
11th
crane.
Hour.
That's not what I meant. I meant in terms of hierarchy, it's up there.
Ha ha! Puns.
You're being very punny today.
Yes, I know. I can't help it. I just can't help it. It's the way you tell them. Right. Fine. If Fresno doesn't want to talk about the scene yet, I will, because it's so good. It's just,
Go on.
it's just the fact. It's just so many different things combined. It's the jump over the crane. All right, that's a good moment in itself. But it's the speech about who says we can choose who we want to be while still evolving and staying true to who we are. What a brilliant message.
Jodie Whittaker peeking over the fourth wall, just a little bit there.
Peeking over it, reaching over and grabbing the viewer and pulling them over it.
She took a look at the fourth wall and then crane kicked it down. Da 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 da.
And she also channels a certain other Doctor when she deals with the villain, but we will wait till we get to the villain about that. So let's talk instead about the, well, not the supporting cast. We can't call them companions anymore. It's been replaced by friends, would you believe?
What?
They're not calling the Doctor's companions anymore.
I know in England.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they're technically not being companions right now. They're more just like accidentally abducted.
Passengers.
Gee, I wonder where he got that idea from.
Passengers. There was nothing accidental about
Oh,
Barbara
wait,
and
this-
Ian getting kidnapped, though. That's the whole point.
This
No,
does
but
mean
it's
that
the
she
same
just,
sort
she
of,
just
oh,
kidnapped
shit,
a whole
we've been
bunch of
kidnapped
people.
by a
Holy
weird
crap.
alien.
She literally just abducted people.
Yes. But
It was an
And
accident.
earlier they were probing.
Completely
Earlier they were
by
probing
accident.
another alien. What the hell?
completely by accident
Yeah.
that she abducted them, but yes. So our new
So let's talk
companions,
about-
friends, whatever you want to call them, we got 3 this time.
Allies.
We got Ryan Sinclair, we've got Yasmin Khan, and we've got Graham O'Brien.
I like him.
Yasmin being Ryan's old schoolmate, and Brian being his step-grandfather.
Brian? Graham?
Graham. Where did I
You
get Brian
said
from?
Graham O'Brien.
Graham O'Brien.
Graham, sorry.
Brian was Rory's father.
Mm.
Yeah, they're not bad. I think Ryan is the one that gets the main focus of this episode, other than the Doctor, of course.
Yeah.
Just a bit.
He gets the most development. He starts the episode with his YouTube video, and he's the one that gives the alien permission, in inverted commas, to come to Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So he sets into motion the events of the episode, something which he is aware of and guilty about.
Yeah, and he handled it a lot better than Bill Potts did.
Oh.
Curse you, consent.
God.
Why do I have a feeling that they did this specifically on purpose just to call back to that and be like, look, we could totally do it better?
I don't think it's that at
God.
all. I think they're trying to sort of distance themselves from what's gone before.
I would certainly distance myself the living shit away from a Toby Widow.
There is one aspect of Ryan that I do want to touch on because, funnily enough, it has actually a connection with me.
Go on.
Ryan has a condition called dyspraxia,
Okay.
which is a coordination difficulty, basically. And there was a real danger that this would turn him into a sort of bumbling comic relief character.
Oh, yeah.
Thankfully, Chris Chibnall doesn't do that. He treats it with the utmost respect. Because his nephew has the condition.
And apparently he got in touch with a foundation that deals with this specific disability, and they were, they helped him figure out what he needed to do, how he needed to portray it, and
Yes.
as far as I can tell, he's going to treat this in a very, very decent manner.
Well,
Respectful
I can tell you straight away that he did, because I have it.
Oh, dang.
And so that scene where he's trying to ride the bike and he falls off over and over again, that really resonates with me.
Well, I'm glad that Chibnall was able to reach you like that.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that he treated it so respectfully.
Yeah. So now when people say, people say, I just want me to be, I just want to be represented in fiction accurately. I can see where they're coming from now.
There you go.
And
Representation.
can I speak very, very briefly on this? I just want to put out my 2 cents.
Certainly.
There's a lot of people who are going to be like, oh, this is just him being PC. This is just him trying to appeal to everybody. And they're going to completely destroy, little boys' role models by having a woman as Doctor Who and all that. The thing that people don't understand is that when we have so much diversity in shows and movies and music and all this stuff, we're not destroying people's ideals and, idols or anything like that. We're just adding new ones. You can still go back and watch Peter Capaldi and love what he did. You could go back and watch Tom Baker or the other Baker or whoever you want, and you can still love and enjoy everything that they did. Just because someone is new and different in a TV show, like having a female doctor, does not mean that it completely destroys everything that you may have looked up to.
Exactly.
So by adding in Ryan, who has this disability, they're not trying to play up to the libtard cucks or whatever you seem to think that they're trying to do. They're trying to show everybody that, yeah, you can be included in this. Just because you have this disability or you have this mental illness or you are a woman or you're black or you're Asian or whatever you may be, things are not exclusive to one person, to one type of person. That's all they're trying to do. This has nothing to do at all with anything political or trying to make a statement other than you can be included. That's it.
Preach.
Damn.
Preach, cat, preach.
And that's just something that really ticks me off about people is they're always like, oh, it's a woman. That means it doesn't appeal to me anymore. Or, oh, they added actual armor to this game. Why couldn't they have sexy armor and stuff like that? Nobody is trying to abuse you. This is not about you. This is about the entire world and what the entire world is like. And guess what? The entire world is not you.
Absolutely.
That's it.
I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you.
Exactly.
It's just when you said armor, it just reminded me of people who've actually complained about that. And of course, when you say people that don't like women in this show, You're mainly referring to the Daily Mail, because the Daily Mail hated it.
Oh, God. Oh, I saw this on Twitter. Daily Mail hated it, while the commenters were like, what the fuck? This was really good.
Yeah.
The Daily Mail
Even
is
Daily Mail commenters
don't take it seriously.
Thankfully, the most people that I looked at, I saw that watched it were like, they took kind of the same approach that I did. Like, look, let's just go in this open mind and see what happens.
That's how I came to it too. I was like, okay, no matter what happens, this is a reinvention. It's basically a whole other show. I'm gonna give it a chance, and it turned out I really loved it. So
yeah, exactly. That's all you can do when it comes to new things like this. It's like,
and hell,
I hate to go back to this. I hate to go back to this because it brings up really, really bad memories for me. But
Yeah.
I'm a big Avatar: The Last Airbender fan. So when I saw the trailers for the movie, I got extremely excited and I went to go see it.
Oh no!
And I was not expecting to see what I saw. I expected to see Inuit people playing guitar in Sokka. I expected to see things pronounced correctly. I expected to see amazing special effects. But what I got was a whole bunch of
Shit.
people who just weren't right for the parts. It's like, I would have been fine with the entire Fire Nation being Indian if it wasn't for the fact that what they are is an important part of the show itself. They're based on certain types of people who study certain types of martial arts. So by taking that out and replacing it with a different culture and a different idea, you're not being inclusive. You're being restrictive.
Yeah.
You're completely taking out what made the show amazing and putting in something else to just say, oh, look, we have this. So that means that it's not racist.
It's far from the only problem with the Last Airbender film, but well said.
We have gotten very deep tonight.
Damn, Jody,
it's a
you
deep
really
show.
In a good way.
Yeah.
It's a very deep show. I'm not saying that as a criticism. I think it's a very good thing. Going back to the bike scene, I should point out, by the way, I didn't actually have that happen to myself. Of the people that have got it, I think I'm actually quite fortunate because I've known I've had it for years and years, and I trained myself to try and overcome it. So it's not like some people that they walk into things all the time. It's not like that. I had difficulty catching like a ball at first, but now I've trained myself to be able to do it. So I don't see it as a disability. I see it as a condition.
And see, that's something else that I really like, too. It's like, I'm depressed, but there are different stages of depression.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to represent more than just one part. And more than likely, if you watch a show where someone has depression, they're going to be the extreme version of depression where they might be suicidal or worse.
Mm.
So I'm really glad that for your condition, they showed a side where, yeah, this stuff can happen, but there's also other parts to it.
Yeah.
And it's not just the same thing for every single person.
And all he did was fall off the bike and drop the torch.
Yeah.
Those
I've
things
got
he really
my
did.
own things and whatnot that I don't really want to share here.
That's
This
absolutely
stuff
your
does
choice.
matter. There have been pieces of media that have indeed inspired me and resonated with me on levels, and I feel they were better because of it. And I'm glad I got to experience them in that way. I can sort of understand, not completely, not like you two can, but I can sort of understand the general feeling of this is important.
Yeah.
I can empathize.
I'll lighten the load a bit with that bite because there was a bit of humour attached to it. The actor, I apologise if I get his name wrong. I think it's Tosin or Toshin Cole, Ryan's actor. He joked on Twitter that he did his own stunts for the bite scene because he didn't think the way the stuntman was falling looked natural for him.
Cute.
There's a video of him talking about it. And I will say this, actually, the cast seems to get on behind the scenes, which always bodes well. Because there's a fantastic video that was on the news today, and it's the four of them in a car, karaokeing to, I know what the song is, but they're basically singing along, miming along to a song. And Jodie's in the back, absolutely giving it the business, and Bradley Walsh is there doing like his sort of comedy miming act. It's really funny.
Right.
And speaking of comedy and Bradley Walsh, a lot of people thought that his character was going to be the comic relief of this series, and he still might be. But in this episode, he wasn't really. He had some comedic moments, but he also got one of the most emotive moments of the entire episode.
Well, yeah.
And he was really good at it.
Yeah, I quite liked him. I mean, usually when they do characters like him, the people who are all, I don't want to do this. This seems dangerous. We shouldn't do this. They are usually pretty boring and, one note, but he went with it. He didn't, be all like, we should do this instead. He was like, okay, I know we have to do this, but can we also talk about this?
He wasn't a coward. He was practical. He was trying to get the people away from the building site. He came up with a way to do that with his wife.
Yeah, it's like he looked for solutions, he found them, and he got down to business and he took care of it. He was still very matter of fact, but he wasn't, annoyingly.
I still worry a little bit how he's gonna mesh in with it when we get to the later episodes, and it's a lot more action packed, like alien planets and running.
Especially with what happened at the end of this episode.
Yes.
I will
That's
say
going to change a lot.
Things to say about the end of this episode, but the dramatic weight. Yeah. The dramatic weight of it and the actors' performances were very good.
Yeah.
I will give the praise before I give.
I will say
praise.
one thing, because he's famous for hosting the chase, which I still hope to go on at some point, and they'll actually take my damn application form. People have said he couldn't do serious acting. Those people never saw Law & Order UK, also written by Chris Chibnall, so maybe that's where he got the idea to cast him. Because he was in all the series of that show, and he was really good. He could really do serious acting rather well. But I do want him at least one point, when in the middle of a running scene, to just go, the chase is on. Because he says that for the quiz show.
So basically, you want the Jodie Whittaker era equivalent of Android.
Yeah, let's go with that.
All right, we're coming up with a brand new game. We're kicking out the Doctor Who drinking game. This is now Doctor Who Bingo. So make sure you write down in one of the squares that he says the chase is on.
Hey, if he says that at some point during this series, I want my customary 10%.
10%?
You'll get 5% and you'll like it.
That's a fair deal.
Honestly,
I think at one point they should totally get one of the chasers to come and play a villain. That would be great.
Oh, and as a side note, if anybody does get bingo, you will win absolutely nothing because we don't have the money for that.
Yeah, I was going to say, we don't have a budget.
Absolutely not.
It's not that we don't have the budget. We don't have a budget.
We have a budget of exactly $0.00.
Yes.
However, if you do happen to win, you can send us an email at goexterminateyourself@gmail.com.
That's
and then we'll send you a nice
Did anyone ever send anything?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
God damn it.
Somebody will.
One day.
When I actually get around to publicising it on Twitter and getting a lot more organised, maybe they will. But we do have a third companion / friend to talk about. There's not much to talk about her, really. Yasmin. She doesn't get as much to do as the other two.
Which is kind of sad because I kind of liked her as far as she got to be able to come out and be herself.
I think it will balance out later on. I think she'll get more defining moments as time goes by. But yeah, she isn't as well served by the script. I did like the scene where she's introduced and she's breaking up that argument between the two motorists that have hit each other's cars. That was rather good way to establish her.
I like the way that she didn't completely, blow off Ryan. She was like, she was like, okay, you need to get this thing out of here. But when she started to, she listened to him, she touched it, and she started to believe. She didn't just go, all right, this has gone on far enough. She went, okay, something weird is going on here. I should try to figure out what's going on.
And she's calm under pressure, and she likes to try new things when she's the thing she says to herself when she's trying to operate the crane. I like that. I think she's got potential.
It's like all three of these characters are really, really good so far. They honestly want to help. They're willing to go to extreme lengths, including, going up an entire crane that's really high up in the air in order to help. I'm liking them so far.
Yeah. And there was a fourth member of this team.
Mm-hmm.
But sadly, no more. I am, of course, referring to Grace.
Oh, Grace.
Grace, yeah.
It's a shame, but I understand why they killed her off.
I don't.
Neither do I. I think this is a bad move.
It's a cheap trick in
Same.
writing, but it's an effective one. Basically, you build somebody up for a little bit so that the audience cares about them, and you build them up as being someone important to a main character, in this case, Ryan. Then you get rid of them to make you feel sympathy for that other character.
I already felt sympathy for him, though.
Yeah, me too. Maybe this was a bad move.
They were all in a really bad situation with a friggin' alien. I didn't need them to also kill off his grandmother. I liked her attitude, though. She says, is it wrong to be enjoying this? I loved her. I literally, seconds before she died, I said, okay, this one was my favorite character. And then she died.
I kind of guessed she was going to die.
It came out of nowhere for me.
Because I was thinking, why would a character this capable and it's starting to experience new things not be amongst the new companions? Because we know she wasn't. And I thought, oh, right, she's not going to make it.
Well, I mean, thinking as a writer, there are a million goddamn justifications you can come up with for why Grace doesn't go off into space-time.
Yeah, I would
given the episode, you could have the simple explanation of she wasn't there when they all got warped.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was potential to have her as a Jackie Tyler type role.
Oh.
She doesn't travel with them, but she's there when they come back home and there's a threat there to deal with. I think they could have done something about that, but they haven't gone that route. Fair enough. It's Chibnall's prerogative.
I disagree with it. I don't like it. I think
it does allow Chibnall to play a neat trick with the name of the episode, though.
Yeah.
Because the one who fell to Earth is not the Doctor.
Oh!
Yeah,
I get it. Oh, I hate you. I hate you.
So, well,
why'd you hate me?
Because you pointed it out. I was so happy not realizing that, and then you pointed it out, and now I'm sad again. You pointed it out.
But don't shoot the messenger. I didn't write
it. Yeah.
And also, a similar trick.
The messenger.
Similar trick is when Ryan's YouTube video at the start, the greatest woman he's ever met is his grandmother.
Which she was.
But we're meant to think it's the Doctor. I will say this: what kind of heartless bastard dislikes a video of a man talking about his dead grandmother? Because if you look at the YouTube frame, 2 dislikes.
Oh my god!
I can answer that. Bots.
Yes.
Jesus.
I think another reason why Chibnall chose to kill her off is to demonstrate that being around the Doctor is dangerous.
Oh, do we really need that again?
Maybe
there
not.
was an alien stealing teeth from corpses. I don't think we need to demonstrate that.
I know, but she
really don't.
I'm still struggling to get used to calling the Doctor as she in talking about past episodes, but it's not her fault. She doesn't want it to be like this, but being around her is dangerous. It's a fact.
I understand where you're coming from, but so as a longtime viewer, I ain't got no time for that grim dark bullshit.
Yeah, it might have been the one misstep of the episode.
It's just wasted potential for me.
If it leaves,
it really is.
It is, but if it leads to more character development for Ryan, maybe I'll be able to forgive it.
Well, we'll see how it goes. We don't know.
Yeah,
but
it's not just Ryan; it's also Graham.
And Graham, yeah, I keep forgetting about Graham being. And
plus,
of course, he's a cancer survivor.
To each other.
He's a cancer survivor, and she was a chemo nurse.
Yeah, and then this is the relationship between Ryan and Graham as well, because essentially Grace was the glue that kept them together.
That's probably going to implode.
Oh, God.
Yeah, stuff's gonna go down in the next couple of episodes, and the only question is how dramatic are they gonna make it?
I look forward to finding out.
I mean,
Oh,
I
please
don't know
make
how
it
it will play
dramatic.
out, but right now I'm kind of dreading it. I don't shit.
Yeah.
Just knife twisting drama shit. Like, I think you lose more out of killing Grace, gain by keeping her alive.
I think I agree with you.
Like, what we got was some really poignant scenes, them sad about her dying, and the potential for future dramatic scenes between Ryan and Graham. But you lose out on so much more potential. Grace alive and him, your character, that I really can't sit here and say it was the best decision that could have been made.
Sadly, she's not the first character with great potential to be wasted before her time, and she won't be the last.
Unfortunate, but it is the one dark misstep on an otherwise wonderful one.
Yeah. And
agreed.
talking of dark, let's talk a little bit about the monster / villain of this episode, Tim Shaw. Sorry, I said that wrong. Tim Shaw,
Evil Tooth Fairy.
basically.
I'm going to call him that for the rest of the episode.
I have a theory that Chris Chibnall was bullied in his youth by somebody called Timothy Shaw.
Oh,
That's
Jesus.
the only explanation for why he would do this.
I have a theory that he has incredible waking nightmares because holy crap was that terrifying.
Yes. The idea of taking the teeth from the victim and then embedding it into his face.
Plus, there was more than just the couple of teeth that we saw he took from the people he killed in the episodes. Like, how many people has he killed?
Well, it's another good example of showing, not telling, isn't it? Because by putting that on him, this is not somebody to mess with.
But that
It's
just
like-
makes what happens all the better.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing about comeuppances. They have to be earned. And he certainly earns his.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What's really interesting, well, there are several interesting with Tim Shaw here. First of all, Doctor Who, as a show, often meshes itself a lot with other genres or stories. So you get something like, say, Doctor Who does found footage, or Doctor Who
I
does
like.
Robin Hood.
Which I did not like.
Yes. So, eventually, once you understand what's going on here and what Tim Shaw's whole motivation and deal is, it's Doctor Who does Predator. Right?
That or Doctor Who does the most dangerous game.
Okay. Well,
Right down
I'm
to the
thinking
human
more
trophies.
Predator.
I'll go with Predator.
Just because he's specifically an alien, I don't know. It's a dangerous game. He's an alien who comes down to Earth for the thrill of the hunt with super advanced technology. And this works in Predator, but the Predator is basically a cheating bitch. Because he's taking on, like, dudes with machine guns in the 80s. With cloaking technology and lasers and tactical nukes and shit. He's no proud, honorable hunter. He's some fucker blasting things way above his, what's the word I'm looking for? Capacity.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a challenge for him. He's just fucking around and having fun. And that's what Tim Shaw's doing. There's no honor in hunting down he's cheating even more with his icy...
It's slightly different with Tim Shaw because he's supposed to be there with no help and with no weapons. And he's just supposed to get by on his own means.
That's true.
So that sort of levens the playing field because, humans would have weapons.
Yeah.
Maybe even his target would have a weapon.
Except
But
the
then he
sneaky
goes
little
and-
bitch
then he
sends
gets
that gathering coil ahead of him.
Yeah, he's a cheating bitch, too. And Doctor Who makes it all the more, clear that he is because he sends the gathering coil. And even his suit, his icy touch is probably, super powered, too.
No, he says that's
Probably.
not a weapon. That counts because it's just his skin.
Okay.
That's not the
Even-
cheating part. The cheating part is the gathering
Even
coil.
so, he is cheating. And the doctor basically calls him out on it. Doctor Who Does Predator ends with Doctor Who sitting there and saying to the Predator, "You're a cheating bitch. You suck. Get off this planet." Which is the most Doctor Who way of ending things possible. And another thing, and I will give Rainiac the link to this article to post down below for your own reading pleasure. I didn't notice this on initial watch. I wasn't going to bring stuff. But then I happened to find this article written by one James Wilder about the woman who fell to Earth.
Uh-oh.
And this author basically brings up the fact that Tim Shaw is a dark reflection of the Doctor, which means Doctor Who mirror alert.
James Wilder, you were off my Christmas card list.
As if they were ever.
I mean, you were never on it, but you're certainly off it now.
And if I may,
and then immediately take them off.
If I may read a passage, quote: Tim Shaw in this way becomes a dark reflection of the Doctor. The Doctor changes herself and grows. Her body is in flux, and she finds something new about herself. Tim Shaw changes his body on purpose, but taking bits of other people, like the clockwork droid in Deep Breath, which introduced the 12th Doctor. This episode parallels that one intentionally, and the differences show quite a bit about what Chibnall's trying to show us with this story. So it's also mirroring Deep Breath in the last Doctor Who introduction story, which is real interesting stuff.
Yeah. And since you brought it up now, as well as being like the figurative dark reflection, there is also a literal reflection in the phone. So there you have it now.
Did you just point out a mirror?
Well, at this point, there's no point resisting, is there?
And this from the man who spent 80 minutes of a hellbent review trying not to say the word.
Yeah, and then failing
it's the
miserably.
5 stages of grief. He's on acceptance now.
Yes.
Beautiful, just beautiful. So, any more Tim Shaw thoughts from?
Yeah, quite a few of them. His ship is a cool little thing. People said it resembled a Hershey's Kiss.
That's what I thought.
I thought it was like an onion from Pikmin. Like
Kat, what did you call it?
Like dozens of Pikmin just marched out and attacked people, but we didn't get
Kat
that.
made like a Willy Wonka reference to Violet Beauregard.
Oh God!
Yes.
Is that what
I
became
said
of
that
her?
somebody stole Violet Beauregard.
Is that like her corpse? Like what's left of her? I also love the concept of the DNA bombs.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and that's not the first time they've shown up in something that Chris Chibnall wrote. Because he was the co-head writer for Series 1 of Torchwood, and then he wrote 4 episodes of Torchwood. And in the first episode of the second series, there is a DNA bomb of a kind. It latched itself onto James Master's chest, and it's coded to his DNA. It doesn't, like, melt him from the inside. It's just going to blow up. And they beat it by injecting him with the team's DNA all mixed together in like a blood sample and confuses the disc. It's actually rather cool.
Huh, neat.
Yeah. So maybe he had the idea and then refined it from that, but maybe not. Maybe it's just a coincidence. The episode is called Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and it's pretty good because James Masters is just a complete asshole. Like he just swans around in like this red coat, like he's the ringmaster, and it's just fantastic.
You're making him sound
My
like
guess
Eric
is
Roberts
from the
master.
title. My guess
No,
is
he's
from the
better than
title
Eric.
that Captain Jack.
He's better than
features a
Eric.
lot.
He's like a sort of evil counterpart of. Well, he's not evil, but anti-hero counterpart of Captain Jack. In fact, at one point he kills Captain Jack, but he comes back to life because he's Captain Jack.
Yeah, I was going to say so.
And they hint they used to be lovers, and he's a good character.
By this point, it's more who hasn't been Captain Jack's lover.
Yes. We also got to talk about the funniest scene of the episode involving Tim Shaw.
Oh God!
My favourite minor character in Doctor Who history, drunk salad tossing man.
Eat my salad.
Eat my salad Halloween.
Really, this really makes me question Killing Grace more because the argument for it could go like, Well, Doctor Who's always had a body count. And I'm like, Chibnall added in 2 people just for the alien to kill.
Yes. He did, but...
Well, actually, to be fair, he only added in 1. Because the first guy was trying to find his sister, and then the guy at the crane site was a security guard, and that's his job to go check out weird stuff happening.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the scene is shot like a horror movie. It's like, oh, no. It's the same thing of making sympathy for someone by killing him. Oh, he's got a granddaughter. Oh, no, now he's dead. How tragic. He had 1 day left of retirement.
But no,
at least he still had a in-character reason for being at the site. It wasn't just, eat my salad, Halloween.
Yeah, that's true. The salad guy is...
Salad guy. I'm disappointed.
I don't even know what
he was named in the credits as Dean. I don't think he's ever named on camera. They should have just called him Drunken Salad Man.
This is Salad Guy.
Drunken Salad Man would have been perfect. But they credited the alien as Tim Shaw at the credits, which was fantastic. It doesn't say Sim Shaw Samuel Oakley, it says Tim Shaw Samuel Oakley. But no, seriously, this scene, let's be honest here, this scene was offensive.
What?
No, it was. I mean, how dare Chris Chibnall insinuate that people have salad with takeaway kebabs in Sheffield?
Well, that's why he was getting rid of it, because someone gave it to him by accident.
Thank you for killing the bit.
He was tossing it all over the street.
Thank you for killing the bit.
You're welcome.
I came up with that 2 days ago.
Leave it to us to ruin a bit for you.
5 seconds is all it took me.
No, but I'm amazed that somebody in the north of England had salad with takeaway. It just doesn't happen. No, that was great, but what was even greater was the scene where he gets what's coming to him. And boy, does he.
Yes.
Well,
Which if Frez wants to put up his mirror alert again, it's another mirror.
I've mentioned it, but I didn't mention what happened to him, so there's your angle, Fresno. Take it away.
Yes, Cat. Mirror alert, away.
So, people might remember, they might not remember, a little person called the Seventh Doctor. And if you don't remember him, then you're missing out, because seriously. But there was a story, I believe it was Remembrance of the Daleks?
Correct.
Uh-huh.
Where he decides to sort of stop Davros's big plot by having Davros essentially destroy all of Skaro by himself. He tricks Davros into killing everybody on Skaro. And guess what happens here?
Yeah, it's very reminiscent of that. I loved it. I love that. Because that sort of manipulation was present within Peter Capaldi to a degree. But I love how sort of manipulative and deceitful Sylvester McCoy is in his portrayal. There's what you just talked about with Davros being tricked into blowing up Skaro, but also what he does with what the hell's it called? The Fendal?
Fenric?
Fenric, sorry, that's it. The Curse of Fenric. And how he defeats the villain in that is just fantastic.
Oh, God.
And this had echoes of that, and I love it. And the fact that she gave him a choice, and he chose to detonate the bombs anyway, and he paid for it.
He brought it on himself.
He's not dead.
Possibly.
Well, no, because if he was dead, why would she throw the teleporter to him?
Well, she threw the teleporter back to him in order to get him off the planet to maybe hope that he
I would assume he got back to his home planet and they fixed him up, but...
Possibly. We don't know that they can.
Officially, he's not listed as being killed off in the post-episode material, so who knows? Don't think he'll be back, but you never know.
That would be an interesting sort of thing to have him come back as a villain at some point.
Yeah, I think he has perhaps a bit more potential, although maybe to set up a bigger villain. I think him as a main threat is gone now. His mystique is gone, but perhaps he shows up as a bait and switch, and then he's killed off by a much bigger, more powerful villain. That could be interesting.
See, I kind of like this. I like not knowing, because before with Moffat, we could kind of guess as to what was going to happen because he kept doing the same things. And now we really don't know.
Ambiguity. It
Hell
can
yeah.
work.
It's so
It
nice.
can work.
Ambiguity. I fucking love it.
I wouldn't go that far as to say that, but yeah,
I would.
I know. I think people get the point by now. We've been gushing about this because we really loved it.
Oh yeah.
It was really good.
And I think that's the overall thoughts, isn't it? It's just we really loved it.
The one
We're just
sour
so
note
glad that it was
is
so
Grace dying at the end, but otherwise, this
Yeah.
was fantastic. Like, I know people are comparing it to all the other Regeneration episodes and putting it middle of the road, but for me, it is a step above middle of the road. It really impressed me. Jodie Whittaker is an absolute treat. These new companions, well, they have potential. I will give them that. They could be really great. We'll have to see as time goes on. And Doctor Who Does Predator is a really great idea.
It really
The
is.
Doctor calling the Predator a cheating bitch, which I found really funny and really like the essence of Doctor Who in a way,
Yeah.
if you know what I
Which
mean.
is funny because the Doctor used to cheat all the time.
Oh yeah, yeah. Do you have anything to add, Kat?
I have pretty much all the same things to say that Frez does. It was a beautiful episode. I hate the fact that Grace died, and I can't really see why she had to die. But otherwise, it was a great start to Chibnall's run as, showrunner.
Yeah. I mean, you both know that I absolutely adored Peter Capaldi's run as the Doctor. So what I'm going to say
So do
now
we.
sounds like sound like sacrilege.
Uh-oh.
This was the best first story for a new Doctor since 11th Hour.
I mean, I can agree.
11th Hour was really good.
Yeah.
But this was also really, really good.
It's
Breath
going to be hard
still
to judge
doesn't
her based
sound
on this one episode, and history may not be kind to it, but here and now, yeah, really, really good, really strong opening episode, and it makes me hope that we've got really good things coming in the future, because I don't want to be a pessimist and say, well, it's all downhill from here, because I don't think it is. I don't know what's coming. I honestly don't know what's coming, and I think that's actually a good thing.
It's such a good feeling.
That's a good feeling.
I will say that for Capaldi, it didn't take me until, like, Listen, maybe Robot of Sherwood. I'm kind of fuzzy on the memory. It's a couple years ago. But at most, Listen for me to be like, okay, I really like this character. Jodie sold me immediately.
I think it was Listen.
Yeah, okay.
You were really starting to praise him by Listen.
That sounds about right.
So, keeping with the tradition of, well, not tradition, keeping with the theme of them not doing things quite how they used to do, we didn't get a next time trailer. We got a coming soon trailer.
Which
This is very strange. It basically laid out. Hopefully, it didn't lay out all of the guest stars. I hope there's a few surprises held back.
Now, this is a difference of regions, I suppose. In your home country, I'm sure that a lot of these names made a lot of people go, ooh, they got that person, and that person, and that person. Wow! This season's going to be really neat. And over on this side of the pond, I knew two names.
I know one.
Yeah, and I can guess
I
who
only
it
know
is.
Alan Cumming.
Yeah, he is the biggest. He's one of the biggest actors on that list. The other people that people will recognise are Art Malik, who is the terrorist guy that only launches into space on a missile.
You're fired.
In True Lies. One of the best send-offs to a villain ever.
I only knew the name because I've seen The Living Daylights times, and he's in it.
Yeah, but he's a very, very distinguished actor. He's a big coup for this show. I'm surprised he hasn't been on it before, if I'm being honest. I don't think he's been on it before, to the best of my knowledge. The one that really shocked me was Chris Noth. Because that's Mr. Big.
I don't know who that is.
Sex and the City.
Oh, that must
I don't know who that is.
Who's the main character of Sex and the City? Is it Carrie?
Carrie somebody or other. I'll level.
Sarah Michelle Garner.
Yeah, her character, her ideal
Sarah
man is
Jessica Parker.
her eventual.
Whoever.
I think she eventually hooks up with him. He's called Mr. Big, and that's
Her
Chris
name's
Noth.
Sarah. That's all I know.
But he also played the cheating husband in The Good Wife,
Never saw it.
and he was a detective in a Law and Order spin-off. And more importantly, he has been on record that he does not like science fiction at all. So for him to come on board with this, Christian must have penned something really good to him.
That or they tricked him and said, we're going to have you in this great period drama. And then he comes in and he sees Jodie Whittaker. He's like, fuck, they got me.
I think he's playing the president. Or somebody really important anyway, based on that little clip they showed of him.
I don't know.
And the other one you mentioned was Alan Cumming.
And the only one I know.
We know he's playing James I. King James I. I'm really looking forward to that because he's a really good actor. But actually, it's what you said, oh, hey, it's that guy. Actually, half of those names I didn't recognise. It's a really diverse cast, and I say that as a good thing.
Excellent.
Because it's not diversity, it's variety.
Exactly.
And
I said before, that's all we want.
I have faith that things are going to be really, really good for this series.
Yes.
Maybe I'll be proved wrong, and if I am, I'll hold my hands up to it. But I'm feeling hopeful. For the first time in a while, I'm feeling very hopeful.
So am I.
And on that shared moment of hope, I think we'll leave it there. So thank you to Captain Freezing Inferno for joining me and talking about this for the past, it feels like 90 minutes, but it's not quite 90 minutes. At least an hour. Thank you to you, the audience, for listening to us ramble on for that amount of time. And all that remains to be said is that I've been Rain, and we'll see you next time as we discuss The Ghost Monument. Until then, bye for now.
Bye.
Shall I count us in?
Might as well.
Anticipating a knock at the door any second now, but I'll count us in.
Damn, I was going to do that.
Whoever that was, not funny.
That was Kat.
That was me.
I might have known.
Go ahead.
I'll try. Right. In 3, 2, 1. I knew it.
That was me.
I knew it.
Blooper reel.
Yeah, I think I know how to pick this back up, so I'll count us in. 3, 2, 1, go. He just got AF away from his keyboard at that exact moment.
I think so.
I don't.
You really want to get this blooper reel, don't you?
I didn't try this. You could have gone. Don't worry.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
I had my soapbox moment, so I'm happy.
I have to go.
I had my mirror moment, so I'm happy.
Yes, I know you are. I'm sorry I got kind of deep towards the middle there, but
No,
it just sort of came
it
out.
made it really good. Don't worry.
Oh,
Yeah, no worries.
I hope it's received okay.
Again,
You got
thank you
this.
for
You
being
got
so
this.
open with us.
It's okay. That's what friends are for, right?
I could have been open to weird shit, but
No. It's not weird shit. Come on.
well, you probably are.
Gee, thank you, buddy.
Well,
You're welcome.
if you want to get into weird shit, I can totally get down with some weird shit for you guys if you want that.
Oh God! All right,
Don't tempt me. I will get into the weird shit.
I believe you, Kat. Don't worry.
Damn straight.
And on that note,
I
I'm
know.
stopping the recording.
Oh my God! I thought you already stopped it.